This is a quick summary of all the different types of AKs in Escape from Tarkov and finding all the differences, strengths, and weaknesses between all of them. Whether you need an AK to move fast and shoot up close, shoot really far away, or just shoot a whole lot, there's an AK for every situation. Now first, the difference in calibers. There's not really any big differences you need to worry about except for the 7.62 being more flesh damage and less pen and slower compared to 5.56 and 5.45, and then the 3.66 being the slowest and most flesh damage and least pen overall. Then when it comes to actual AKs, you can see that the 5.45s have the least amount of recoil, followed by the 5.56, the 7.62, and then the 3.66 being the worst. Half of the AKs are just variants of the base model AKs, with the only difference being the dovetail mount, allowing for sights to be mounted straight onto the gun without a rail. And the only other big difference is the short barrel rifles, being the AK-74Us, the AK-102, 104, and 105. Those are the only notable differences between some of these AKs. Even the stats, there's no difference between them. A couple of the models have 1 or 2 points of recoil difference, which doesn't make any sense because all the parts and everything are all the same. None of these stat differences are too great to keep you from using any of these AKs. And for the AK-74Us, you can mount the dovetail sights, but you have to take the dust cover off before you do. Now if price is no option and you don't care about ergo, these guns are the lowest recoil of their respective calibers, so these would be the ideal platforms to build off of for each caliber. And this is just a quick demonstration of the difference between the lowest recoil AK and the highest recoil AK. And starting from the standing position, you can see that the AK-MS has a larger recoil than the AK-74M, but that's nothing that can't be overcome with attachments. And most of this difference just has to do with the caliber that they shoot. And then I just wanted to see if there was any difference in recoil at all between 5.45 and 7.62, even if the recoil stats were basically the same. So I modded the same AK-MS to have similar recoil stats to the AK-74M to see if there's any difference really at all. And as shown, even though they're two different calibers, once the stats are the same, the stats are the same, the recoil patterns are the same, nothing's different besides the bullet that they shoot and how much pen or damage they do. And lastly, just a quick overview of all the attachments for all the AKs. There is a recoil butt pad that can go onto any of the factory stocks from any of the AKs, and it reduces recoil by 5 points and adds 1 point ergo. AK-MSs have their own underfolding stock, the AKSs have their own folding stock and PT mount. The AK-100 series and AK-74Ms have their own buffer tube, folding polymer stock, and PT lock. And then all the rest of the AKMs, AK-74s, and the VPOs have their own AKM lock, ME4 buffer tube, and all the rest of the stocks possible. Then for handguards, most of the handguards are interchangeable with all the AKs, except for the AK-74Us having their own set of handguards, and the short barrel rifle AKs not allowing for the Troy combo or the DS-24 gas block combo handguards. And again, the AK-74Us have their own set of dust covers, and then all the rest of the AKs have their own dust covers for themselves. But for the Zenit B33 dust cover, it only goes with the B10M handguard, and that's something I've struggled with for a while. Now, for all the AKs, they all have their own respective muzzle devices and mounts that allow for other muzzle devices or suppressors. For the 5.56s, they allow for all the 5.56 muzzle brakes, plus they allow for a 5.45 SRVV muzzle brake. The 5.45s have their own, and the 7.62s have their own, but they can also allow for the Zenit 5.45/7.62 muzzle brake.